In this video, we're going to look at some more complicated situations for factoring. In my other video, Factoring Part 1, you can see how to factor these quadratics when we have a coefficient of 1 of the x squared. In this example, we're going to look at two of them that have coefficients that aren't 1. Well, the procedure is still the same for factoring these. So if you've seen the first video, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply my a. Well, you could be wondering, where's the a coming from? Well, it comes from standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c. So I'm going to multiply a times c, first and last. So that gives me 12. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a table. And in this table, I'm going to try and find what are the factors of 12 that add up to be -7. Well, hint, it's going to be two negative numbers because a negative times a negative is a positive, and a negative plus a negative is a negative number. So let's see. I'm going to try -3 and -4. Well, -3 times -4 is 12, and -3 plus -4 is -7. So these factors fit the bill. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this polynomial. Oops, let's fix that. That should be a 7. 7x plus 6. I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to split the middle. So 2x squared minus 3x minus 4x plus 6. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to group together the first two terms and the last two terms. But before I group the last two terms, here is a tip. One thing you're going to do is you're going to write this as plus negative for x. If you don't write it as plus negative, it gets really ugly and you aren't properly factoring. So we're going to write this as a plus negative for x. What I'm going to do now is factor out the greatest common factor in each of these binomials. So let's see. I can take an x out of both of these. So I'm going to have x times, this will be 2x minus 3. And if you want to check your work, x times 2x is 2x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. And from here, I'm actually going to take out a -2. So if you remember from the last video, we want our final binomials to be matching, just like this. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to take out a -2, and that will leave me 2x minus 3. So you can see that when I took out a -2, this gives me 2x minus 3. So that, let me highlight these, this and this match. Well, to finish it up, I'm going to do 2x minus 3 times x minus 2. And if you want to check your work, you can go ahead and FOIL 2x times x first, outside, inside, last, and it will come out to be the same thing. Well, in this case, it will. If you did it wrong, then it won't. Let's try one more. So again, I'm going to start by multiplying a and c. So 6 times -15 is -90. So let's make a table. So let's see. We have to figure out what two numbers multiply to be -90, yet add to be 1. So one is going to be positive, one's going to be negative. Just a hint, because they multiply to be a negative number, yet add to be a positive. So let's see. Let's do this. 10 times -9. Well, 10 times -9, that's -90. Add them together, and I get 1. So that fits the bill. So again, I'm going to rewrite it. So 6x squared plus x minus 15 becomes 6x squared minus 9x plus 10x minus 15. Then I'm going to go ahead and group my binomials. I'm going to group and group. So let's see. Now I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor from each binomial. So from this one, I'm going to take away a 3x. So let's see. If I take out a 3x, I have to figure out what times 3x equals 6x squared. Well, that's going to be 2x. And same thing, 3x times what equals negative 9x? Well, that's negative 3. For this one, I'm just going to take a 5. And it's not too difficult to see what's left. Now, if you notice again, let me highlight this, that 2x minus 3 is in both of them. So we've done it right so far. Now what I'm going to do is put it all together. So I have 2x minus 3 times 3x plus 5. And you could be wondering, well, where is the 3x plus 5 coming from? Well, it's coming from right here, 3x plus 5. Same thing for over here. Where did the x minus 2 come from? X minus 2. Now, you could write plus negative 2, but that's the exact same thing as minus 2. So that is an example, two examples actually, of how to factor polynomials when x squared has a factor or has a coefficient that is not 1.